Hello, welcome to Paul's Take, and this is my take on how I'm handling the quarantine life. That's right. We've been under quarantine for a few weeks now. I want to say three, two. The reason why I'm not really 100% sure because I've been working, and this week or let's just say last week, our company had changed our schedule. So since everything is so much slower now, that we don't need everybody all the time. So I'm working 1 week, which was last week, and I'm taking a week off. And then we're going to rotate that until this thing is all done with. So, excuse me. So this week I'm off. This is my first week. A lot of you guys had a head start on me, so you guys are probably further into these, coping state of mind than I am. This is Wednesday, so this is only my 5th day or something being at home. And how am I coping with it? Well, tell you the truth, and I don't want to sound, insensitive, but I know people are suffering, people are sick. But I try to just focus on the now, focus on the present, and do the most with what I can, with what I got. So every day, there's one thing I've been neglecting is mountain bike riding. So every day I'm going mountain bike riding. Now usually, I'm not gonna lie to you, within the last 6 months I've probably gone, before this week, I've probably gone twice. And I've been riding every single day. And usually I would even let myself rest before I go ride right away. But I figure, hey, I'm not working. When I was a kid, I would ride every single day. Since I'm not doing anything, I might as well ride every single day. And I'm lucky enough that I can actually go out of my house, ride about 10 minutes up the road, and there's actually some single track trails, which is basically mountain bike trails for you layman mountain bikers. And I would ride for maybe 45 minutes. But that's enough right now to wipe me out. Hopefully I can build up some endurance. But as of right now, that kills me. So I come back and I'm wiped out. So every day I'll basically wake up, have breakfast, and then go for a bike ride. And then after that, I might just go hang out with the family or do a couple of chores or something. But by wiping myself out, I feel like I take away a lot of that nervous energy. So that I think is helping with the coping. Plus it gives me some kind of purpose. So that's how I'm dealing with it. Other than that, like say going to the store, how am I dealing with that? Well, let me tell you. We're dealing with walking around and people are around because yes, we're quarantined, but we can go outside for exercise, especially here in North Carolina. We're not complete. I know this is more strict in other areas, but North Carolina, you can still basically go outside your house and go for a walk. And I have 2 dogs, so I get more of an excuse to go out and go for a walk. And it's not like there's any law enforcement enforcing the stuff anyways. So there's a cat on my counter. What in the world? Anyways, sorry, I got distracted there. So I'll spend time with the family, do some chores, and when you're dealing with people, you try to where I'm living in North Carolina, so I'm not really in a big city. I'm like in the suburbs of Raleigh, North Carolina, and there is people out and about, and it's probably more so than normal because everybody's at home. The cat is not supposed to be on the counter. I'll throw a rock at it. Hold on a second. Get off the counter. This cat is not supposed to be on the counter. All right, get out of here. I'm sorry. That was a technical difficulty. All right. So we're doing pretty good about avoiding people. So if somebody's walking this way, you kind of way around. And people are pretty understanding. Everybody's trying to avoid everybody else. Even though I think a lot of this is hyped up. If you watch my other videos, that explains why. But I don't know. I think this whole thing is hype. But anyways, regardless, there might be a coping mechanism in itself. Because I have the mentality that it's really not as bad as they're making it out to be. I really don't think so. So anyhow, that's part of it. Going to the stores, I am wearing a mask. We actually had some from previously. We didn't buy any for this particular incident, but we had some, so I have one in my car, and if I go to the store, I'll throw it on. And just remember, they're not reversible. It should be the color side out, white side in. Don't like flip them backwards, because then you're just sucking in all that crap. Anyway, so going to the store is a little nerve-wracking, a little irritating, and I feel really bad for people that work at these stores. What surprises me is they all seem to be very comfortable, and they don't have any mask on. Where I'm at, nobody wears masks. Finally, some gas stations they have actually a plexiglass at the cash register, which is really smart, like a sneeze guard. But for the most part, nobody has them, besides the few the Sheetz gas stations. And the customer or the people that work behind the counter, they're just there. They don't have a mask on. I got a feeling it's policy not to scare the customers, but I feel kind of bad for them because they're out there in that environment for 8 hours a day or whatever their shift is. So I feel for them. I do, even though they seem like they're like whatever. And I think actually, the truth be told, I think the fear of this coronavirus is considerably worse than the bite of the coronavirus. And because really it only affects people with underlying health issues. And I predicted, I hate to toot my own horn, but I did predict that they were way overblowing the death rate or the ultimate amount, because they were saying 100 to 200,000 people were going to die in the United States alone. And I said, this was kind of funny, but I said in a video, just like I did post like 2 days ago, that it's going to be no more than 60, about 60,000. I don't even think more than 60, really. And then today, I'm watching the news, and Trump's doing this thing, and they lowered their expectations to, I couldn't believe this, right on the money. They could have said 50, they could have said 70, but it said right on the money, 60,000 people that will probably die from this. But that's right on line with the flu. So it makes you wonder, did they overreact to this? Well, then again, I guess the social distancing probably made a big difference. And if it wasn't for that, the numbers would be a lot higher. So I guess that's important. Anyhow, overall, I have times where I'm like kind of nervous about other people and getting sick, even though I'm not in that risk category. I think more so for me, it's not that I'm so worried about me getting sick, but it's to get other people sick, like my wife and my kid. I don't think they would handle it as well as me. If it was just me, I'd be like, yeah, whatever, I'm sick. I'll stay home for 2 weeks and enjoy it, kind of milk it. But I worry about them because they might panic or freak out. Even though I think they'll be fine, but I think just a fear, like I said, I think it's the fear of this stuff that's worse than the actual coronavirus in itself. So I think keep that in mind. Anyhow, overall, I mean, I gotta admit, I don't want to be like insensitive, and I know a lot of people are sick, but the schedule that I got now at work, I mean, I'm getting paid for 2 weeks, only working 1. Working 5 days, getting 9 days off. And granted, I can't really go like on vacation or anything, but like I like my house, I like my neighborhood, I like the fact that I can just ride out, go for nice walks or go for a nice bike ride, and it's like a stay-home vacation. I gotta admit it, I love it. So just make the most of it. That's just me. But anyways, But I hope everybody gets well. I don't want anybody to get sick on my behalf of enjoying myself, but I'm going to enjoy myself. What else do I got to do anyways? Watch news all day? Forget that noise. I've been really cutting back on my news. Trying to watch a very little bit about, just see if there's anything really new, but if it's not, just turn it off. Alrighty, well, this is enough for me, 10 minutes, about long enough. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe. I'm a small channel trying to get big, so I really appreciate your help and support. Thanks for watching. Paul's Take.